The large alien ship appeared in Earth's orbit on a Tuesday morning. It was sleek and silver, unlike anything humans had built. Around the world, people looked up at the sky with wonder and fear. News spread quickly across the planet. In the United Nations Space Command Center, Commander Eli Reeves stood with his hands behind his back. His face showed no emotion, but his mind raced with possibilities. Next to him, Ambassador Susan Gray adjusted her formal blue suit, trying to stay calm. "Are we sure they're not hostile?" Eli asked the room of officers and scientists. Dr. Frank Miller, the lead scientist, pointed to the screens showing the alien vessel. "They could have attacked already if they wanted to. They're just waiting." The aliens had sent a simple message in basic mathematical sequences, universal language that showed intelligence. Earth scientists had responded in kind. After 3 hours of these exchanges, the aliens requested to send a small ship down to meet with human leaders. "We need to be careful," Susan said. "This is the most important moment in human history." Eli nodded. "I've put our best security team on standby, but they will keep weapons hidden. We don't want to seem threatening." The meeting location was set, a large open field outside of Geneva, Switzerland. Military forces from around the world secured the area from a distance. News cameras were allowed, but kept far back. When the small alien shuttle landed, it made almost no sound. The door opened slowly, revealing 3 tall, thin beings with pale blue skin. They had 4 arms, each, and large eyes that seemed to take in everything at once. They wore simple white garments that moved like liquid when they walked. Susan stepped forward with Eli and Dr. Miller beside her. "Welcome to Earth," she said with a small bow. "We are honored by your visit." The middle alien made a series of clicking sounds, and then a device on its chest spoke in slightly mechanical English. "We are the Valoran Confederacy. We represent 7 species who travel the stars. We come to assess your world." Eli felt uncomfortable with the word assess, but kept his expression neutral. "We are pleased to meet you and hope for friendly relations between our peoples." The aliens looked at each other, their movements quick and precise. The one who spoke seemed to be their leader. "You are younger than most species we encounter. Your technology is basic, but we see potential." Susan smiled. "We have much to learn, but we are quick students." When the meeting moved to a nearby tent set up with simple chairs and tables, things seemed to go well. The aliens explained they had been watching Earth's broadcasts for some time. They didn't understand all of human culture, but were interested in learning. Then came the mistake. Susan, following human diplomatic custom, extended her hand to the alien leader. "On Earth, we seal new friendships with a handshake." The alien, Genkar, looked at her hand with sudden alarm. The other 2 aliens stepped back quickly. In their culture, extending a limb directly at another being was a sign of imminent attack. Genkar's lower right hand moved to a device at his side, a defensive reaction. It sent out a pulse of energy that knocked 2 human security officers to the ground. They didn't get up. "Threat detected," the alien translation device announced. All 3 Valorans backed away quickly. Eli's security team rushed forward, weapons now drawn. "Stand down," he shouted, but it was too late. The aliens retreated to their shuttle, moving with incredible speed. Before anyone could stop them, their ship lifted off and rejoined the larger vessel in orbit. The last message they sent was brief. "Earth status. Pending assessment zone. Further contact postponed." 3 hours later, the alien ship disappeared from Earth's orbit, leaving humans with 2 dead officers, 1,000 questions, and no answers. What they didn't know was that in Valoran language, pending assessment zone meant a world marked for potential resource harvesting if diplomatic relations failed. The first contact had gone very wrong, and the Valorans were already planning their return. 6 months passed since the failed first contact. On Earth, people slowly returned to their normal lives. Some believed the aliens would never return. Others feared they would come back with bad intentions. Commander Eli Reeves did not stop preparing. Every day, he pushed world leaders to build better defenses. They will return, he told anyone who would listen. And we need to be ready. Ambassador Susan Gray worked with language experts to understand what went wrong. The handshake, she explained during a UN meeting. In their culture, it must mean something threatening. In space, Captain Patricia Winters commanded the orbital defense platform, Aegis. It was Earth's newest and most powerful space station, built quickly after the alien visit. On a quiet Tuesday morning, her sensors operator called out, "Captain, unknown vessel just appeared at the edge of our detection range." Patricia rushed to the main screen. The ship was smaller than the first alien vessel, but had the same strange, sleek design. "Is it the Valorans?" "Energy signature matches, Captain," her officer replied. "Open all communication channels," Patricia ordered. "This is Captain Patricia Winters of Earth Defense Station Aegis. Valoran vessel, please identify yourself and state your purpose." No response came. The alien ship moved slowly toward Earth, ignoring all messages. "They're scanning us," the sensor officer said with worry in his voice. "Very detailed scans of our weapon systems." Patricia remembered the protocols established after the first contact. Any unidentified vessel that ignored communications must receive warning shots. She didn't want to start a fight, but she had her orders. Fire warning shots, far enough to miss them, but close enough to show we're serious. 2 energy pulses shot from the Aegis, passing half a kilometer from the Valoran ship. The alien vessel immediately stopped its approach. For a moment, Patricia hoped they would finally answer her calls. Instead, the Valoran ship turned and disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. In the Valoran Confederacy's main council chamber, 7 different alien species gathered to discuss the Earth situation. The chamber was vast and circular, with floating platforms for each representative. Genkar stood before them, showing recordings from the Earth visit and the recent scanning mission. "As you can see," Genkar said, "the humans fired upon our science vessel without provocation. This confirms our initial assessment." And Elder Valoran, with pale green skin, spoke. "They seem more advanced than we first believed." "How did they detect our scout ship?" "Their technology develops quickly," Genkar answered. "This is typical of aggressive species." The council voted. 6 species agreed, with only 1 objecting. The decision was made. Humans would be classified as an aggressive pre-spacefaring species, and a limited pacification mission was authorized. In simple terms, they had declared war on Earth. Back on Earth, General Alan Martinez received the emergency call at 3 a.m. "Sir, multiple unknown objects are approaching Earth at high speed." He rushed to the command center, where a team of officers tracked the incoming threat. "How many?" "At least 50 vessels, sir. Much smaller than the one we saw before. They're spreading out to cover different parts of the planet." General Martinez activated the Global Defense Network. "Alert all nations. This is not a drill." Ambassador Susan Gray was also called in. While military leaders prepared for battle, she still hoped for peace. "Keep broadcasting on all frequencies. Tell them we want to talk." But the Valorans didn't come to talk. Their first strikes hit military bases in North America, Asia, and Europe with perfect precision. Thousands of soldiers died in minutes. The bases were reduced to smoking craters. The Valorans expected Earth to surrender quickly. They believed humans would be shocked and terrified by their superior technology. They were wrong. What the Valorans didn't understand was that humans had been preparing for this moment for centuries, not just in military bases, but in books, movies, and games. Alien invasion was part of human culture. And now that it was real, humans were ready to fight back. The first day of the war was the hardest. Valoran ships attacked military bases around the world. Their weapons were unlike anything humans had seen before. Beams of blue light that cut through steel and concrete like they were paper. But the Valorans made a mistake. They did not attack cities. They thought humans would give up if they lost their military power. They did not understand human nature. In an underground lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Olivia Wright worked without sleep. Her team had recovered pieces of a damaged Valoran ship. She looked at the alien materials under special microscopes and ran tests on the strange metals. "Look at this," she said to her assistant, pointing at a screen showing Valoran skin cells. "They have a completely different cell structure than ours, and these readings suggest they need a very specific mix of gases to breathe." Olivia made another discovery when she tested sound waves on Valoran materials. Certain frequencies made the alien metals vibrate strangely. "It's like they're sensitive to sounds we can barely hear," she told General Martinez during an emergency video call. "This could be a weakness we can use." Meanwhile, Admiral William Kent gathered the remaining naval commanders on a secure channel. "We need to think differently," he said. "They expect us to fight like they do, but we won't." His plan was simple but clever. Thousands of commercial ships, fishing boats, and private vessels were given special equipment. They would act as a network of sensors and traps. When Valoran ships moved through Earth's oceans, they would find mines and traps waiting for them. "They think our technology is primitive," William said. "Let's show them how dangerous primitive can be." In space, Captain Patricia Winters received orders to abandon the damaged Aegis station. Instead, she refused to leave. "We can still use the station," she told her crew. "Not as a weapon, but as bait." She shut down all systems except for emergency life support. From the outside, the station looked dead. When 3 Valoran ships approached to confirm the kill, Patricia waited until they were close. Then she released hundreds of small satellites that attached to the alien ships like ticks. These devices couldn't damage the Valorans, but they could track their movements. For the first time, humans could see where the enemy was going. The Valoran commander, Krulvan, reported to the Confederacy Council. "The human resistance is stronger than expected. They have lost 67% of their military capacity, but continue to fight." Genkar, now the chief advisor on humans, looked troubled. "They are not following standard defeat protocols. They should be offering surrender terms. They are merely delaying," another counselor said. "Send the second wave." The second wave of Valoran ships entered Earth's atmosphere 2 days later. But this time, humans were ready. As the ships flew over the Pacific Ocean, they were met with an unexpected defense. Hundreds of weather balloons carrying special sound devices floated in their path. The devices emitted the exact frequencies Dr. Olivia had discovered. The Valoran pilots experienced intense pain as the sound waves disrupted their sensitive hearing organs. Several ships crashed into the ocean. Others retreated quickly. In Europe, Earth forces used old radio towers to create interference with Valoran communications. The aliens found themselves unable to coordinate their attacks. Human fighters, though less advanced, could move more freely. On the Valoran command ship, Krelvin received disturbing reports. "How is this possible? They are using their primitive technology in ways our simulations did not predict." Genkar studied the battle data with growing concern. "They are adapting. Their internet systems are remarkably resilient too. We cannot disrupt their communications as planned." "It does not matter," Krulvan replied. "They are still just one planet against our 7 worlds. They will fall." But as the battle for Earth entered its second week, the Valorans faced an uncomfortable truth. This would not be the quick victory they had expected. Humans were not just fighting back. They were learning, adapting, and getting more dangerous by the day. After 3 weeks of fighting, the Valorans were confused. Their attacks had destroyed many military bases, but humans kept fighting. The Confederacy Council needed answers. "We must understand these humans better," said the High Counselor. "Send our best researchers to study their history and culture." Genkar led the research team. They collected thousands of Earth broadcasts, books, and internet files. What they found shocked them. "These humans," Genkar reported to the Council, "have been fighting for their entire history. not just against nature, but against each other. He showed the council images from human history, wars that killed millions, weapons that grew more deadly with each century, but also stories of bravery, sacrifice, and survival against impossible odds. They call this progress, but their path is covered in blood, Genkar continued. They have made more ways to kill than to heal, and they only truly unite when faced with outside threats. The council watched videos of human children playing war games. They saw sports that looked like battle training. They studied human entertainment that showed fictional wars against aliens. Most concerning, Genkar said, is that they have imagined alien invasions for over 100 years. They have been preparing for us in their minds long before we arrived. One counselor asked, how do they advance their technology so quickly? Genkar's answer was troubling. They develop fastest during wartime. Challenge seems to make them stronger. This war is not weakening them. It is making them more dangerous. On Earth, humans were indeed learning and adapting. In a secret base under the Pacific Ocean, scientist Nathan Blackwell studied captured Valorant technology. Their shields work on a frequency pattern, he explained to military leaders. If we time our weapons to hit between the frequency shifts, we can break through. Within days, human weapons were modified. The next time Valorant ships attacked a military base in Australia, they faced new defense systems. 5 alien ships were damaged, and one was captured mostly intact. This was a major victory. Humans now had a complete Valorant ship to study. In homes across Earth, people adapted to life during war. Schools moved underground. Farmers worked at night when alien ships were less active. Everyone contributed to the war effort. We have been preparing for this our whole lives, a young soldier told his friends before a mission. Every zombie movie, every alien invasion story, they were training us for this moment. Meanwhile, the Valorant research team made another discovery that worried them greatly. Their internet systems are unlike anything we've seen, an analyst told Genkar. We expected to shut down their global communications easily, but we cannot. They built their networks to survive attacks. From whom? Genkar asked. From themselves, the analyst replied. They designed their systems expecting other humans to attack them. They have been testing their defenses against each other for decades. Krillvin, the military commander, grew frustrated. These humans use outdated weapons, yet they keep destroying our ships. How is this possible? The answer came when they examined footage of a recent battle. Humans had loaded old cargo planes with explosives and common metal objects. The planes flew into Valorant formations and exploded, sending thousands of metal pieces into the ship's sensitive sensor areas. It was simple, crude, and surprisingly effective. In the council chamber, debate grew heated. We did not expect this level of resistance, the High Counselor admitted. Perhaps we should reconsider our approach. But Krellvin objected. Withdrawing now would show weakness. We must increase our attack force. The council voted to send their third wave, larger and more powerful than before. What they didn't realize was that humans were preparing their first major counterattack. And unlike the Valorans, humans were not following any standard war protocols. They were creating new strategies never seen before in galactic warfare. The most lethal species in the known galaxy was just getting started. 8 months into the war, Earth was ready for its first real counterattack. The captured Valorant ship had given humans many new technologies. Nathan Blackwell and his team worked day and night to understand the alien devices. We've figured out their shield technology, Nathan told Commander Eli Reeves. And we've built 10 working prototypes that we can put on our own ships. Eli looked at the small metal devices on the lab table. These tiny things can stop their weapons. Yes, Nathan said with a proud smile. They work by creating energy fields that change frequency faster than the Valorans can adjust their weapons. The first human ships with Valoran shields were ready for battle within weeks. These were not new vessels but old military ships fitted with the new technology. 5 destroyers and 3 aircraft carriers, now had protection against Valoran energy weapons. At the same time, Lieutenant Grace Harper led a Special Forces team on a dangerous mission. Their target was a damaged Valoran ship that had crashed in the Amazon jungle. The aliens had sent guards to protect the wreck, but Grace's team moved silently through the thick forest. Remember, Grace whispered to her soldiers, "We need to capture, not kill." The pilot's knowledge is more valuable than the ship itself. The mission was a success. Grace's team captured the Valoran pilot and brought the alien to a secret base. Unlike the warriors, this pilot was a scientist who knew how the ship's faster-than-light drive worked. After weeks of talks, the pilot agreed to help humans. "Your species fights with honor," the alien told Grace. "My people have not told you the truth about why they attacked." With the pilot's help, Colonel Daniel Pierce volunteered to lead humanity's first mission beyond our solar system. Using the repaired alien ship, Daniel and a small crew prepared to travel to nearby star systems. "We're not going to attack the Valoran homeworlds," Daniel explained to world leaders. "We're going to find other species in the Confederacy and tell them the truth about this war." The day before the mission launched, Dr. Olivia Wright made another important discovery. "The Valorans breathe a special mix of gases," she reported. "They can only survive on certain types of planets, but humans can live in many more environments." This news gave Earth new hope. Humans might be less advanced, but they were more adaptable. They could survive in places the Valorans could not. On the Valoran homeworld, trouble was growing. News had spread that the primitive humans had not only survived the attacks, but were now using Valoran technology. People were scared and angry. "How can these humans be defeating our forces?" Crowds shouted outside government buildings. "We have never lost a war in 1,000 years." The Valoran society, which had known only controlled conflicts for centuries, was shocked by a truly unpredictable enemy. Their carefully ordered world was falling apart. Genkar warned the Council, "The humans are now capable of reaching Valoran space. Our people are not prepared for this threat." To prevent panic, the Council ordered Genkar to find a peaceful solution. Using captured human communication equipment, he prepared a message to Earth. Meanwhile, Earth had its own plan. Using all captured Valoran communication channels, they broadcast a bold message across space. "People of the Valoran Confederacy, we did not start this war, but we are prepared to end it. We offer peace in exchange of knowledge, or we will bring the full force of humanity to your doorstep. The choice is yours." The message was sent in 7 languages, one for each species in the Confederacy. For the first time, the Valorans felt what humans had felt when the aliens first appeared above Earth. Fear of the unknown. Colonel Daniel's ship disappeared into faster-than-light travel, carrying humanity's message to the stars. Earth waited for the response, ready for either peace or continued war. What no one expected was the division this would cause within the Confederacy itself. Colonel Daniel's ship traveled through space faster than light. The stars blurred past as they moved toward the edge of Valoran territory. None of the human crew had ever been this far from Earth. They were both excited and afraid. "Sensors show we are approaching a space station," reported Sam Wilson, the ship's navigator. "It does not appear to be Valoran design." Daniel leaned forward in his command chair. "This might be one of the other species in the Confederacy. Open a communication channel." After making contact, Daniel's crew was surprised when they were invited to dock at the station. The aliens who met them looked nothing like the Valorans. They were short with golden skin and 4 eyes. "We are the Exilani," their leader said through a translation device. "We have been expecting someone from Earth to make contact." Inside the station, Daniel learned something that changed everything. The Valorans had not been honest with their allies. "The Valorans told us that humans attacked them without reason," the Exilani leader explained. "But we have noticed patterns in their wars. They have done this before." The Exilani showed Daniel records of hundreds of other planets and species that the Valorans had encountered. Most had been easily defeated and their resources taken. Some were now completely gone. The Valorans classify all species they meet, the Selani continued. They have standard ways to defeat each type. But humans, the alien made a sound like laughter. Humans do not fit any category. Daniel understood now. They expected us to behave like other species they've met. Yes, said the Exolani. All previous species followed patterns based on their evolution. But humans developed differently. Your planet had many separate cultures that grew in different ways. This gave you thousands of approaches to solving problems. Daniel shared this information with Earth through a secure, faster-than-light communication system developed from the Valorant ship. Communications Officer Maria Gonzalez received the message at Earth Command. This changes everything, she told Commander Eli Reeves after reading Daniel's report. The Valorans aren't just fighting us. They're afraid of us. Maria also discovered something in the data Daniel sent. She found internal Valoran messages that revealed their growing fear. One report from a Valoran strategist said, "Humans fight like no species we have encountered. They act both as individuals and as groups. They use military structure, but also chaos and quick changes. Most concerning, they seem to get stronger when they lose, not weaker." News of these discoveries spread across Earth, giving people new hope and determination. Humans now knew they weren't just fighting for survival. They were fighting for all the species the Valorans had conquered. In the Valoran Confederacy, the council was divided. Many now believed the war against humans was a mistake. They voted to offer peace terms. "We should end this before it gets worse," said the High Counselor. "These humans grow more dangerous every day." But not everyone agreed. Supreme Strategist Kolvik, who had planned many successful wars, refused to accept defeat. "Humans are clever, but they are just one planet. We cannot show weakness." Kolvik gathered supporters from the military and some council members. They formed a separate group dedicated to continuing the war. "The council has grown weak," Kolvik told his followers. "We will protect our way of life from these dangerous humans." The Valoran Confederacy was now split in two. One side wanted peace. The other was preparing to use the most powerful weapons in their arsenal against Earth. As Colonel Daniel's ship headed back to Earth with its important information, neither humans nor Valorans realized how dangerous the situation had become. The war was entering its most critical phase, and the most lethal species in the galaxy was still learning how to use its new powers. Supreme Strategist Kolvik gathered his loyal followers on a secret base far from the Valoran homeworld. His scientists worked on a terrible weapon, a device that could make Earth's sun release deadly flares. These solar flares would burn Earth's atmosphere and kill all life, and it would look like a natural disaster. "The council has grown weak," Kolvik told his officers. "They fear these humans, but I do not. We have never lost a war, and we will not start now." His plan was simple. The weapon would be placed near Earth's sun. Once activated, humans would have only hours before the deadly flares reached their planet. There would be no time to evacuate, no chance to survive. Meanwhile, Colonel Daniel's ship was racing back to Earth with the important information from the Exolani, but his small vessel detected unusual activity ahead. "Captain, there are multiple Valoran ships moving toward the solar system," Sam Wilson reported. "Much larger than any we've seen before." Daniel checked the data. "These aren't regular warships. They're carrying something big." He sent an emergency message to Earth. "Bevan alert. Unknown Valoran fleet approaching with unusual cargo." Captain Laura Palmer received the message aboard Earth's first faster-than-light battleship, the Defiance. This new ship combined human engineering with Valoran technology. It was Earth's most powerful weapon. "Prepare for immediate departure," Laura ordered her crew. "We need to intercept that fleet before it reaches Earth." The Defiance wasn't alone. 5 smaller ships joined it, each equipped with the shield technology Nathan had developed. This small fleet was Earth's best hope. As they left Earth's orbit, Laura spoke to her crew. "We are outnumbered and our technology is still new to us. But remember, we have something they don't expect: human creativity. Laura had studied old naval battles from Earth's history. She knew strategies developed by admirals who lived centuries ago. The Valorans always attacked in the same patterns, but humans had thousands of different battle plans. When the human fleet met Kolvek's forces near the orbit of Mars, the battle began immediately. The Valoran ships fired energy weapons that lit up space like lightning. Earth ships responded with their own weapons while using quick, unexpected movements. "They're not following any pattern," a Valoran officer told Kolvek. "Their ships move in ways that make no sense." Laura was using tactics from an ancient Earth admiral who had won battles against much larger fleets. Her ships moved in ways the Valorans couldn't predict. They separated, then came together, drawing the enemy into traps. During the battle, Sam Wilson on Daniel's smaller ship detected the true threat. "Captain, one Valoran vessel is breaking away. It's heading for the sun with that strange device." Daniel understood immediately. "It's a weapon. They're going to attack the sun itself." He changed course to follow the Valoran ship, even though his vessel was not built for combat. On the Defiance, Laura saw what was happening. "Cover Colonel Daniel's ship," she ordered. "Whatever that device is, we can't let them activate it." The battle was fierce. Several Earth ships were badly damaged. Human crews performed emergency repairs even as they continued fighting. When systems failed, they found new ways to make them work. Kolvek watched in disbelief as his carefully planned attack fell apart. The humans weren't fighting according to any known strategy. They sacrificed ships to protect others. Pilots flew directly into danger to create opportunities for their allies. "These humans fight like they want to die," he said. His officer replied, "No, Supreme Strategist. They fight like they're willing to die for each other. There's a difference." As the battle reached its peak, Daniel's ship closed in on the Valoran vessel carrying the solar weapon. Earth's fate now depended on stopping this one ship before it could deploy its deadly cargo. Colonel Daniel's ship raced toward the Valoran vessel carrying the sun weapon. His engines were pushed beyond their limits, parts of the ship starting to fail under the strain. "We won't catch them before they reach the deployment point," Sam Wilson said, his face grim. Daniel looked at his small crew. "Then we have one option left. Prepare to ram them." This was not a decision made lightly. Everyone on board knew what it meant. But they also knew what would happen if the weapon reached the sun. As Daniel's ship accelerated toward the enemy vessel, Captain Laura Palmer on the Defiance saw what was happening. She opened a communication channel to Daniel's ship. "Colonel, hold your position. We have another plan." Laura had kept one weapon secret, a prototype teleportation device developed from Valoran technology. It had never been tested in battle, but there was no choice now. "Lock onto Colonel Daniel's ship." Laura ordered her weapons officer. "Prepare for emergency teleport." The technology worked. Daniel and his crew suddenly appeared on the Defiance's bridge, shocked but alive. At the same time, Laura sent something to replace them on their ship, a high-powered explosive device. Daniel's empty vessel crashed into the Valoran weapon carrier. The explosion was visible across the solar system, a bright flash that temporarily outshone Mars in the sky. The weapon was destroyed before it could be deployed. Earth was safe. In the main battle, Kolvek watched his forces falling apart. With the weapon destroyed, he had no choice but to retreat. The human fleet, though damaged, had won. 2 months later, representatives from Earth and the reformed Valoran Confederacy met on a new space station orbiting Proxima Centauri, the closest star to Earth's sun. This neutral location was chosen for the peace talks. Ambassador Peter Jordan represented Earth. His counterpart was Jen Carr, who had become the leading expert on humans among the Valorans. "The war faction led by Kolvek has been removed from power," Jen Carr explained. "The majority of our people never wanted this conflict. We deeply regret the actions taken against Earth." The peace agreement was called the Proxima Accords. The Valorans recognized humans as equals and offered to share technology as a form of payment for the damage they had caused. In return, Humans agreed to share their unique problem-solving approaches and creativity. The most important part of the agreement was the official change in how the Confederacy classified humans. They were no longer listed as an aggressive pre-spacefaring species, but as an adaptive collaborative species, a new category created specifically for humans. After the formal ceremony, Genkar spoke privately with Ambassador Jordan. In our long history exploring space, we have met over 400 different species. None have ever made us question our place in the universe like yours has. Your people achieved in months what others could not in thousands of years. Jordan smiled. That's because you didn't just declare war on humans. You declared war on the species that turned survival itself into an art form. 1 year later, the first joint human-Valoran mission launched from Earth. The ship was crewed by members of both species, along with representatives from the Exilani and other Confederacy worlds. Their mission was to explore beyond known space. The ship was named Harmonious Adaptation, reflecting the strengths of both cultures, Valoran precision and human creativity. As they prepared to activate the faster-than-light drive, Captain Laura Palmer gave the order to depart. Beside her stood a Valoran co-captain, demonstrating the new trust between their peoples. The stars streaked past as they accelerated, carrying the combined knowledge and strengths of both civilizations into the unknown. The war had ended, but humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. In the darkest corners of space, other ancient species noticed this unusual partnership with interest, some with curiosity, some with concern, and some with fear.